Riot Minds presents an award-winning role-playing game, Trudvang Chronicles. There are many tales and sagas about Trudvang. Many songs about the fallen heroes. Based on the Norse and Celtic myths and legends, Riot Minds present a world of endless adventures. Draw your sword, call upon the gods, weave your magic.
Alright, everybody, welcome to another stream. Session 6? Is it?
5 or 6. 6, I think.
Yeah, 6, I think. So, this is probably the last session for this adventure. This is probably going to be the final part. We didn't get to stream last week, sorry about that. But this week we're back with more energy and more power. So yeah, welcome to the stream. Let's do like we always do and go through our guys a little bit here and what happened last time. So let's start with Alpakka.
Hello, that's me.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, who are you and what is your character and stuff like that?
Yeah, who am I? That is a good question. I am Waldhelm, the trickster rogue, a rogue Vitner. It's a mix. Trying to get myself forward in life.
You're from the Wildlands, right?
I'm from the Wildlands, yeah.
So yeah, I just realized Nirnie is not in the Roll20. He just came in here.
Yes, I am.
Oh yeah, now you are, but you weren't. So I thought it was like one person missing. So I just need to make some space for you. So while you guys are talking and introducing yourselves, I will make some space for Nirnie here. So you're a rogue, wild man rogue.
Yeah, wild man with a blonde hair.
Which is very weird because the wildlings, just like we talked about before the stream here, are all dark haired.
Yeah. So I'm special.
In so many ways.
He's special. Peaceful.
So yeah, and I'm coming from Norway, playing this guy. And that's it.
Awesome.
Most of you knows who I am.
Yeah, probably if you've been following up until now, you should know.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then we have Brian.
Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm Brian. I am playing Jorin Ravenhold, Stormlander, half Stormlander, half elf. So he's a Dyfir. I defer to you on how to say that word. And he is a Dimwalker, but also in the Elven tradition, and then also a ranger of the Stormland tradition.
Right. So, yes, you wanted to get a little bit of your Elven heritage in there as well, right?
have to please the parents. Yeah.
Right. Okay, and then we have Elendilgbb.
Okay. I am playing Vesteinn, who is a gray brute. I have black hair, yellow eyes, and a tail. So, the character's not that smart, and he's just a straight warrior.
Right. You're kind of the tanky guy in the group, right? Okay, and then we have Siggi.
I'm Siggi. I'm playing. Oh, I'm from New York, and I'm playing Valravn and her uncle Dagger, and she's kind of a Dimwalker / Vitner weaver. And as we learned last episode, Dagger is not with the living.
Right, Dagger is an undead creature. And there was some quite nice role-playing surrounded around that as well last time. I really enjoyed that. Okay, what about Flynn?
Good morning. Also from the States. I'm in the same time zone as Siggi, although about as close to Central in Michigan. I've got Lycklig today. Lycklig is a dweller with warrior training, and he's also an albino, adopted. He's a foundling, adopted by a dwarven family.
Right. Awesome. And we had some really nice stuff going on with Lycklig last time, and you received a very special dagger. I actually have the information about the dagger here later when we have listened to Nirnie as well.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes, I'm Nirnie. I'm playing the dwarf Greld Fairhair. I'm smaller than other dwarves and quite fashionable, with often combing my hair and beard. My very nice blonde beard. I'm also a bard or a scribe.
Right. So who wants to tell us what happened last time? If you remember, it's been 2 weeks now. Okay, Brian?
First off, I want to say thank you for renaming all the videos from session 1 all the way up to now to the Order of the Trolljaeger. I think that's very awesome. That was the very momentous occasion last week. So last week, after dealing with some trolls at their camp, we set forth out to continue trying to find this girl that was taken from the farm. You guys can insert appropriate names as we go.
From Yuka's Hearth.
Yeah,
right?
and as we
or Bearfield.
Bearfield, yeah. And as we traveled forth, the rain came upon us. Trails diverged. Jorin took the opportunity to see if one of the trolls had gone to relieve himself. Dagger went with him. This was, of course, after eating a nice breakfast that made half the party sick and everything like that, made by our half-troll friend and Vesteinn. Then so Jorin went with Dagger, who accompanied him, and found, of course, this was the place where trolls had relieved themselves. He got sick, got better because he threw up the breakfast, and then realized that Dagger was unaffected. And then the clocks kind of ticked in his head about the time that they'd spent on the farm and whatnot, and realized that Dagger was not with the living. So upon returning to the party, he questioned Valravn. Valravn, what did you do, girl? And it went into a discussion about how she pretty much brought him back because she could not lose him. We pretty much told her that she needed to release him to the Great Hall at the first opportunity, and that
send him into the storm.
And that Jorin, as a Stormlander and a Dimwalker, would help her do so. And then as we journeyed forth, we encountered a dwarven group of miners, I guess you would say, who were digging an entrance to their lands within the lands of the Jarl that the Ravenholds support, upon which Nirnie and Lycklig were involved with the discussion there. And Lycklig, you can take it from there.
While interpreting from Dwarven so that the rest of the group could understand what was going on, the local dwarves that are digging their mine there or an entrance to another city were impressed with my particular, or Lycklig's particular accent. Names were exchanged, possible recognition of who my adopted father was by possibly his clan brothers or brothers specifically, unknown at this time for me. I was given an item, a dagger that I'm to return to my father, most likely some kind of secret message that he'll understand the significance, but I have no knowledge whatsoever.
Right.
And it was in that exchange that they were concerned about having encroached upon the lands, and Jorin not wanting to drop his family name as they are of some standing with their loyalty to the Jarl, pulled forth a document with help by his dwarven friend Nirnie, the bard, to pretty much state that the Ravenhold clan is your friend. As long as you show this paper, you will be more than happy to do what you got to do to build the entrance. All those things. And then also he took it one step further and took it as an opportunity to pull everybody in the party together and pulled forth 2 of these blue stones that he had found and gave one to the dwarves and said, this seals us in.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We're using a program called Zoom, and I think the person that was hosting the meeting, we need to pay for Zoom to be able to use it more than 40 minutes.
Okay,
And the
it went down anyway, so
give us a second. Yeah.
to upgrade to Pro.
All right, sorry about that, guys. We're back, somewhat back at least. So yeah, like I said, we're using this program Zoom, and it's you can use it for free, but you can only use it for 40 minutes, except for your first time using it. So what we've been doing is that we have been taking turns holding the conversation, and that way getting unlimited amount of time. But this time we made a mistake, and the person that decided to host it already hosted before. So shit happens. Okay, but now we're back again. We're just gonna wait for Brian to come back here. Alpakka.
Yeah.
Are you leaning to the left or something? Is that your normal? Is that how you usually sit?
Yeah, just
trying to figure out how
sitting
to.
like that. I'm changing sides all the time.
Just to make it more difficult for me. I'm trying to figure out how to put it in a good way on your screen here. Okay, that works. Yeah, I just told other guys here, I realized there's so many people in this group. Freaking 6 people if you compare to the other group where we're 2 people, right? 4 people. It really makes a big difference, especially for laying stuff out in OBS here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's just wait a little bit for Brian.
Okay, so I think Zoom changed their free plan, is what happened. Now it's 3 or more people is a 40-minute limit always, and then one-on-one is unlimited.
No, it was always like that. It was always like that. It's just that the first meeting you ever have.
I think that was a bug.
No. I talked with the support and everything, and they told me that's how it is. But we're looking at Google Hangout right now. It might be a good alternative. So should we go to a commercial break again until Brian is back? Or what do you guys think?
I think we can continue with the recap.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, and I can tell Lycklig about his dagger. While we do this. So, are you ready, Flynn?
I am ready to copy. However, I would like to make one point. If that's okay.
Of course.
Nirnie was there when it was handed to me. I was there when it was handed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else was up on that dais. They may have seen me hand something, but I stick something in my backpack and it's a done deal.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So
have we figured out Zoom? Yes. Are we good with Zoom?
We hope so, Brian. I mean, but it would be good to maybe start looking at.
Okay. Everybody throw your emails in the chat, please, so I can make a video. Everybody's a contact. And,
yeah. Not in the Roll20 chat, okay? Because
in the Zoom.
Yeah, in the Zoom chat. Let's do that.
Oh yeah, there is a chat. I realized that first.
Yep, I'm ready to copy.
Yeah, good. I will tell you. Okay. So the dagger, it is a normal sea axe, but it's made of mithraka, which is the mithril of this world. It's spelled M-I-T-H-A-R-A-K-A, mithraka, and it's legendary quality.
Got it.
And it's legendary quality.
Actually, guys, I got a link. Sorry, let me just give you the link.
No problem.
Sorry.
So, if you follow the model of the sea axe, you have 4 weapon actions. So you can write WA, weapon actions 4. Initiative modifier is +3. So this is an extremely light weapon. You actually get faster using this than not using it. The protection value, the PV, is 11. So you need to somebody needs to make more than 11 points of damage to be able to damage this weapon at all. And the BV, the break value, is 11. 110, I mean, 110. Did somebody leave the conversation?
Yeah,
Brian switched to Hangouts.
No, Brian is still here.
Brian's there.
Oh,
Where is Greg?
He maybe jumped over to.
Because it fucks up the OBS. Huh? Can you see me? Oh, down here. Okay, here it comes back. Okay, let's see. I just need to move every time you switch camera. I need to move you guys.
Oh, that was the wrong camera.
That's okay.
I had 2
It's
Discords up, so
no problem. Okay, so let's continue. So there's a BV is 110. That's a great value. That's like the body points of this weapon. The damage is the normal CX damage, 1d10, and open roll on 10, but you get a +2 on that. And then the weight is 0.18 kilos. So it's extremely light. Extremely light weapon. And also, since it's a legendary weapon, you get +3 skill value when you use this weapon. +3 SV when you use this weapon. And the worth, you don't really know. But you guess it's worth quite a lot. On the blade is engraved a big ring. A big ring with 5 smaller rings intersection with, going around it. When you got the dagger, the guy explained to you, Njordil explained to you that this is the symbol of the Iron Ring Council in the country of Ibonda, which is the country where they come from, and your father probably come from as well, if it's the person they think. And other than that, there's some nice engravings like around the edge, and it's just generally a very beautiful piece of art. All right.
Yep.
So that's that. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's where we ended off last time.
I'm working on getting everybody's emails in, so
yeah,
I got Race, Kim, Patrick, Siggy. Not yet. Hold on. Right, get Siggy in here. Sorry. Siggy.
Yeah.
I've never hosted, so you guys gotta bear with me a little bit. Game night. Patrick, Kim, Race, Frederick, Siggy, Franz. Who is Franz, by the way?
That's me.
Did you know it? Okay, yeah, I got you in here.
Yep.
How many of us are there? 7, 2, 4. I'm missing somebody. Greg.
6 real people.
Greg,
One dead guy.
type your email.
Yes, I am emailing you now.
No. You're typing your, okay, there we go. Awesome. The other G Brown.
Yeah, sorry about that if we have any viewers. Luckily, we usually don't have so many, but it's trying to figure stuff out here a little bit. This kind of for future proofing as well. Of course, it's always better to do this kind of stuff before we start, but sometimes you don't have a chance to do that. That's fine. But I think we can start a little bit now, right? And we can maybe set up the hangout in the break later. Take a little bit longer break, maybe.
Yes.
So let's go for about an hour now, or a half an hour or something at least. So we ended just after the dwarf handing Lycklig the dagger, which some of you might not have seen from being on the bottom of this kind of cliff thingy. But you see Lycklig put something in his backpack. It's quite an emotional moment, and the way for the dwarves to kind of push through an emotional moment is just by work. So they quickly go back to their work of creating a new entrance to their kingdom of Ibonda. So Lycklig, Greld. Okay. Hang out. Quiz. Okay. Lycklig and Greld. I guess it was only you two guys up there, right?
Yep.
So you guys,
Yes.
jumped down from the little.
Jorin for a little bit, but he wasn't really involved in that exchange
Right.
of the dagger and stuff.
Right. You kind of talked about setting up a contract about this land and stuff, right?
Right.
But you three make your way down from this kind of cliff side, I guess, down to the other people waiting below, and that's where we start the game today. So what do you want to do?
Are we walking away from the dwarf, continuing our journey, or?
Just now, you're just meeting up with the rest of the people waiting for you down below where the dwarfs are.
Yes. And if I remember right, the dwarves told us which way the troll walked. Because they had seen some trolls and the human girl, but they didn't want to interfere. Right.
Yeah. They saw them walking on the path that you guys were already following before. You kind of made your way off the path a little bit to be able to get to this camp here.
Yeah.
So do anybody want to say anything before you guys continue walking, or we can start?
Nope. Jorin will look at Waldhelm, Alpakka's character, however you say your name. Say it again. How do you pronounce it?
Alpakka? How do you pronounce your character's name?
How do you pronounce your name? Your character's name?
Waldhelm.
Waldhelm.
Yeah.
We're gonna put your skills to use. Scout ahead.
Okay. Okie. Well, I shall go and scout ahead if you want me to do.
Yeah, we're gonna give him like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do his thing, and then we're gonna follow after him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Vesteinn, Waldhelm, Valravn, you didn't really hear what they were talking about up there at all. And also they were speaking mostly in Futhark as well. So you have pretty much no idea what's going on at this point.
Just like real life.
So
Real life.
I want to turn to Jorin and look at him and say, so, really? We are in order now? The Trolljaegers? Are we committed to this then?
I put my hand on his shoulder and said, well, my dwarven friend, the moment seemed right to pull us all together. This is your Edda, your epic. You shall tell the tale of the Order of the Trolljaeger. What do you think of that? And then I punch him in the arm.
Yeah. I just want, so I'm probably doing like this, and you know that the dwarf will take your word on this. That after we have done this, you will still have to keep up with the Order of the Trolljaegers.
I got no problem with that. We all made an oath to each other in front of the dwarves, in front of each of us.
Yeah, as long as you tell the others so they know what's going on.
Is it not in dwarven stories? I don't know much of dwarven history, but isn't it in dwarven stories to the brotherhood comes from shedding blood together?
It's kind of.
Or asking your character.
The thing is that I don't see a problem with the troll hunting order. I see a problem in creating an order from a blink of an eye. But you have made me the scribe of an order, so I'm going to take this serious. The only thing I want to know is if we are committed enough to do this. And I'll probably start picking some parchments and looking at them and mumbling something about I'm gonna need a lot more parchments and a lot more ink.
So
I mean,
just a question from the GM. So when you guys were talking about the order of the Trolljaeger, did everybody hear that, or was that up on the ledge together with the dwarves?
Did we like all put our hands in or something?
Did you?
Yeah.
everybody did except
Okay, so
Dagger, who's our serf.
right. So yeah, that's right. You all put your hands together. That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Continue, please.
So I mean, I can't speak for everyone here, but I took everyone putting their hand in oath as the choice to band together as a crew, a band, a brotherhood, whether it be an official order with a crest or just a bond between friends. That's what.
No. The dwarves up the edge there will see this as a serious order and a serious pledge of honor. So I'm not going to abandon this.
Nor shall I. As long as each one of us breathes a breath, I shall
As
stand
long
with
as
you.
you know that I'm not a warrior. I have never been and I never will be. But I will be the order's scribe if you do not think that's wrong.
I think it fits in your, because I overheard what Lycklig and him were talking about him and his epic and wanting to, why he would, oh yeah, I was there because of, being, the whole coward accusation. I said, this is the perfect role for you then. What better place for a bard than the beginning of a huge story? Is the witness to everything that's happening.
I'm going to need a lot more facts and knowledge about trolls and other bastamals, I guess.
Well, I think all the drama that has happened previously to getting here, our battles, our time at the farm is a good start. Humble beginnings. We have dramatic encounters with each other, with the outside forces of this world, and now we push forward and to seek to save a young lass, and then for some reason I'm Scottish already. I'm a Scottish elf. And then I want to be a Scottish elf now. And then we're going to take care of these trolls because that's our mission. And we're going to go to the thing. That's our next part. But right now we need to deal with this. And this is taking about the time that this discussion is pretty much the time that we're giving Waldhelm to go scout out for us and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever your interpretation of scout is, if you just go out and then come back and report, or you just go out and wait for us to meet up with you, then we can do either or.
Yeah. So what do you do during this time, Alpakka? What does Waldhelm do?
I was actually thinking about taking the perception roll.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
To scout forward.
Sure. You can also use your tracker ability.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that afterwards.
Okay.
First, perception.
Roll a perception then. DC 10.
1d20 and then adding my skill.
So it's a
0.
DC 10 plus minus your perception.
One more time, you said?
DC 10. It's a 10 plus minus your perception modifier. And then roll under that.
0.
20.
Yeah, 0 and then roll under 10, wasn't it? Yeah. 1d10 or
1d20, always d20 for
1d20 under 10. Yeah, there we go. Roll. Nope.
Ooh.
I mean, you find your way back to where you guys left the trail, and the tracks are still there. If you guys remember, it is raining, so they are slowly kind of flushing away. But you can still find where they ended last time. You kind of did a mental note of that, and it wasn't too difficult to find your way back, even though you didn't see anything new.
Well, I'm gonna try.
You didn't see anything new or anything.
Then I'm gonna try my my tracking then.
You get a +3 on the tracking since you know where it started. It would have been a +5 if it wasn't raining.
There, +3 on the roll. Let's roll. Nope.
No, you did that wrong.
Yeah.
I did it wrong.
Yeah, it's one. You always just roll the d20. The +3 goes to your threshold.
Okay. It's 13 on the threshold.
So basically, you have to roll under a 13.
Yeah.
and you did
Sorry,
roll
I
a
was.
9. You rolled a 9, so you did succeed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can clearly see the tracks continuing down the path, and it shouldn't be too difficult to follow these, even in the rain. These are 3 massive trolls making massive tracks. So up until now, it hasn't really been a problem at all. So this is a little bit more mountainous area, but it's still in the forest. The mountain is kind of on your left side of the path, while the forest is mostly running on the right side. At this point, the forest has started turning from this kind of leafy, nice, beautiful, airy forest around Bearfield. It's now more totally moss covered, this forest. Like every part of the ground is covered by moss. All the trees turned from leaf trees to like needle trees, like pines and spruces and stuff. And it's you kind of get this kind of musky, dark, wet smell surrounding you in this forest, with some undertones of the nearby mountainside. You can still see all of your companions talking over at the side of the road. To that side, the trees are not very tied together, so you can still see through them. You can choose to move off a little bit more and look a little bit further, but you reckon that the tracks are not super fresh, so you wouldn't be able to catch up to the trolls or anything like that. And since the dwarves told the other guys that the trolls were there a few hours ago, probably wouldn't be much use scouting ahead too much. But it's up to you.
Yeah. I'm thinking about to go back to the other guys with information I saw.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Did you guys say anything else while Waldhelm was looking around?
I don't think so. Not Greld. I think that Greld is probably taking up the parchments and doing some notes.
And Valravn's gonna say, if Greld is the scribe, then I shall be the undertaker. I shall make sure that you go out into the storm prepared, able to walk on your own.
Oh, I like this.
Which, if anyone, people know Stormlander mythos, that's the whole, you have to walk through the storm that surrounds Trudvang in order to make your way to Mist Hall, whatever the Stormy's hall is.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the Valhalla, right?
Yeah.
Jorin turns to her and said, "You might redeem yourself."
Right. So while you're talking, you're all kind of hunkering or sitting underneath the ledge that you kind of jumped off. As you can see on the picture here, there's like a ledge. Since it's raining and Greld is working with his papers and parchments, you're kind of taking some cover under the ledge there. It's like a little bit of an area underneath where you can sit there.
Waldhelm, what did you find out?
I have found the tracks where he was following. It goes up to a mountain area where the leaves is getting gray, or like the changing of season up there.
Okay. What was the name of the dwarf that we made the pact with?
The dwarf, the leader dwarf up there, the name he gave you was Nirnie. Greld and Lycklig know that this is just a nickname that the dwarves like to use.
Okay.
They don't really like to give their real names.
I try to get his attention and I ask him what he knows of the mountain range, what the terrain, what we might face, just real quick, because we're about to head out.
Right. What was the dwarf's name?
Njordir. Njordir walks over to the ledge and looks down on you and says, as far as we understand, the mountain continues on this side. It's not a big mountain like where we are from, but just continue down the road, and there should be more and more of these pine trees and spruces there. We don't really know much about this area outside of the mountain. We're just making an entrance here. Sorry.
Right.
I wish you luck on your travels. And I hope you find what you're looking for.
And we shall see you upon our return.
Yes.
And hopefully you have made some good progress.
We will be here for at least another 2 weeks. He says.
All right. Everybody ready to go?
All right.
Can I just finish this little thing here?
Yes. Alpakka, go ahead and take point. Scouting out. And Valravn, you and Dagger, of course, are Dagger's our meat shield for right now. So.
Yep. This is his job.
Right. So this.
And I look at Lycklig. I'm like, your people.
So did Greld and Lycklig tell the rest of the gang about what transpired between the dwarves and them? About the Lycklig's father and what was said in Futark, or do you keep it to yourselves?
I don't think I will tell because it seems very personal. So I think that Greld says that it's up to Lycklig.
No, this is family business.
All right, good to know. So this is about midday. The dwarves invited you guys to eat, but you declined, I remember. So you kind of push on a little bit. You start to get hungry, but you kind of push through lunchtime and mid of the day. And like I said, the forest more and more turns into this kind of needle-covered, moss-covered, darker forest now. And
Coniferous.
And in the early afternoon, you come across a meadow in the forest. And in the middle of the meadow, there is this massive boulder, like a big stone boulder. On top of the boulder grows a gnarly pine tree, and it's covered like everything else with moss. It kind of rests on its back of it a little bit. So there's like a space underneath the boulder that you can see. It's like dark, and it looks like you can kind of go in there. And according to Waldhelm's tracking, it looks like the tracks are leading into and under this rock.
So Dagger failed his life sense, so he does not detect anyone.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, the tracks lead in under this rock that kind of leans on its back a little bit, so it kind of makes a little bit of an like a area underneath, you could say.
Really, guys? Are we going back underground?
Do you have anything against being underground?
Yes.
It's big enough for large trolls to walk into, so it's not like anybody's going to be bending over.
Claustrophobic.
I mean, it's not that high. I mean, you would have to bend over a little bit to get in there. But
I thought you liked the shadow, he says to Waldhelm.
Yeah, but the only thing I hate is those freaking goblins. They are everywhere.
Oh,
Well, you're
forest
safe
troll.
in this case.
Goblins
Yes.
isn't that bad.
Let us hope that it is as quiet as the holes of the dead.
Does it smell?
you go a little bit closer.
Yes.
Okay, you go up to it, and it takes a whiff, and it smells quite nicely. You don't smell anything special from underneath the boulder. It smells like wet moss and old trees and the what do you call it? decomposing trees, this kind of thing, right? Rotting trees.
So Greld is definitely going to check this out because he's not at all uncomfortable being underground or inside caves and such.
Right.
So I'm going in.
Greld steps forward. Dagger just takes his shield and blocks him.
I will turn to the party and
What's
go
that
and
for?
say, there is no troll smell.
Right.
Is there any sign of the trolls at all?
Do it quick. Let's do some tracking, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, the tracks of the trolls that you've been following does lead in under this rock, this boulder.
Yeah, let's press. Let's press on.
Scouts out.
Yeah, is it okay, so he's going. Is it, can we go walk 2 by 2 or is it?
I mean, you can't walk at all. You need to kind of not crawl, but you need to bend over to get under there. Okay. You probably need to go one at a time.
Okay.
Okay, Dagger's gonna go first.
Okay. Dagger bends over and crawls into the boulder, underneath the boulder, and disappears in the dark. Vesteinn can kind of see the outline of him. It looks like Dagger is standing up as soon as he comes under the lip of the rock, of the boulder there. So it seems like he can stand up in there.
Valravn just says to everyone, it is my hope that this shall not be our tomb. And she then goes under as well.
Mm-hmm. So
I will respond with,
go ahead.
worry not. Stormy wove the weave of your life long ago. Hide under a rock if you wish. You will not live one moment longer.
Nice. You all make your way one after another in underneath the lip of the boulder. And as soon as each of you get in there, you realize that the boulder, what you thought was a boulder, is actually hollow. And but it's very dark, and since nobody turned on a torch or anything, you can't really see anything in there.
Do my night vision help? Because I can actually see the dark.
Right, that does help. So when finally Greld gets in there, you see, like I said, it's hollow, and the color of the stone is kind of white, and it doesn't look like any stone you've ever seen.
So can I feel it and
Yeah, you can.
see if this? Yeah, and can I definitely feel that this is not stone?
Yeah, it's not stone. It feels more like bone tissue.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This isn't a cave. This is a skull. We are inside a big skull.
Does anybody want to light a torch or anything?
Yeah, I can try to. Or do anyone have a torch?
If you have a camp kit, you have at least one torch.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on my torch.
Okay, so as soon as Waldhelm kind of lights up his torch, you realize that you're inside a cranium of some kind. You can see the holes for the nose and the eyes and everything. You can see the earth through it there. You're inside a massive cranium. And it doesn't seem to be any way out of here except the way you came. You can see that there is some kind of there's a little bit of a looked like somebody slept there at some point. Yeah, Brian?
Is it a humanoid shaped cranium?
Yeah.
It's a giant.
I never thought I would ever see something like this.
Does anybody have grace knowledge?
What kind of knowledge?
Race knowledge.
I have race knowledge.
Thanks for the follow, by the way, Mama Craft. got a new follow.
Ooh.
Ooh, hey,
I'll roll
hey.
race knowledge.
Yeah, race knowledge or
Failed.
failed. It's under knowledge. Let's see. Right. Knowledge, race knowledge, monster lore you can use. Monster lore. Anybody else want to try?
Oh, got it.
I think I might be the only one with race knowledge.
Right.
We'll fall back on our knowledge. Maybe we heard a story or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can use your knowledge. Like, you can always use your base skill, the knowledge. You can use the discipline, which is race knowledge, or you can use the speciality, which is monster lore. So you can use all of those.
Okay, so I could actually roll for my normal knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is like a general knowledge of everything. Like your common sense, kind of. Welcome back, Vesteinn. So it turns out that you guys entered inside of a cranium of some kind. It's not a boulder at all. And people are rolling monster lore knowledge right now. So if you have that, you are welcome to do that as well. It's under knowledge, race knowledge, monster lore.
I don't think I had that.
Yeah. Okay, so Brian, Jorin also didn't really understand what it was.
I can try and roll.
Yeah, everybody can try knowledge if you have.
Can I put out a question? It is, what are we actually rolling for? Because it's kind of obvious that, well, it's not a normal humanoid, so it has to be some kind of giant. So to see what kind, or
I mean, have you ever seen a giant?
no. Yeah, I guess that you probably only heard about those in stories.
Yeah, probably.
People they're talking about.
Yeah, I figured the role is to make that correlation to connect the two.
Patrick,
Yeah.
can I roll learning burial rites to determine like how it was put here?
Yeah, sure.
It fell down when it was dead.
That's a pass.
Okay, it fell down when it was dead.
Okay. So I just say it was not buried here by fellows. It was filled.
And you do see some like narrow slits in different random places across the skull, like somebody was sticking something sharp in there at some point.
She puts her hand on the bone and says, "See here? This is the one that slew it. It punctured deep and into the brain."
I guess all of you kind of know that it must be some kind of giant or bigger kind of Jotun-sized creature. You don't really know what kind of giant. You never really heard of giants living here or anything. You never seen a giant. You only heard about them in stories.
Ooh, actually, I probably know something about like lore and legends because I come from an area, Jotunheim, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
So that's a natural 1.
Oh, really? Lore and legends for Stormlands? Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, since you lived with your family close to Jotunheim, which is, it's the story about Jotunheim was that giants threw these massive rocks all across the plain, and it was a kind of battle between giants there 1,000 years ago. And it's not too far from where you guys are right now. Actually, if you continued through this forest to the northwest, you would probably at some point come out close to Jotunheim. So you reckon that there might be some giants at some point, like 1,000 years ago, that lived in this forest or migrated down here or something like that. So definitely But you don't really know anything about the specific giant or anything like that.
And she just continues, these wounds probably date back to when the boulders were strewn about Jotunheim.
Right.
So I'm looking at the Valravn. Does it actually matter? It's dead, and the trolls were sleeping in it, probably using it as a cave. Does it matter how it got killed or when?
Only
Wait,
to those that
wait.
kill it.
Are you telling me that the bard who writes stories doesn't care about a giant skull? The bard who writes stories, epics, doesn't care how a giant skull that was used by trolls as a home doesn't care how it was killed. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think we can ever know about this, and I'm not a real, I am writing history, and I'm writing a history about the Trolljaeger right now. I have other things on my mind.
Very single-minded, one-track bard, I
She
guess.
puts her hand on skull and says, this is history, and we are creating more history.
It's not relevant for the troll
It's
hunting.
quite irrelevant. One's death is as important as one's birth.
How is this important in the hunt for trolls? And how is
And the hunt to save Sola.
Yes, thank you. We won't get closer to Sola by caring about some long-time dead giant.
Somebody's impatient.
So Greld is probably like almost jumping up and down.
Yeah. Okay, so
Dead is dead, necromancer.
Ouch.
So yeah, like I said, it does look like, and you guess probably that the trolls slept in here last night.
Is there an exit from this cave?
Only the one you came from. Only the one you came from.
All right, so I think let's continue on.
Does anybody want to do anything else inside the
Before we
school?
leave,
Sorry.
I would like to take a small.
Yeah.
I'd like to take my small hand axe, and see if I can knock some of this off and put it in my pack. I understand sometimes the spirits of old dead things, when cast into a weapon, can give it strength. So I will take a sample before we go.
Sure, you can do that. It's quite hard to break, even though it seems like this might be over 1,000 years old. It takes you a few swings with the axe to actually break through it.
If Waldhelm was a Dimwalker, he would definitely want a piece of giant bone.
Yeah.
Maybe
because,
a big tooth.
Yeah, because in the Haminges religion, the one that the Wildfolk follows, they use pieces of dead creatures to get powers. So if for example, if Waldhelm was a Dimwalker of Haminges, he could use a piece of this giant and then battle the giant in a spirit battle and get the power of the giant. Not the actual power of this giant, but like the spell of that tablet, the Dimwalker tablet, giant tablets. That would be awesome. Sadly, we don't have anybody following the Haminges religion. But Flynn, you can pretty much take as big of a chunk as you want. Maybe not a super big one, since you don't want it to crash in on yourself. But takes you about 20 minutes. Takes you actually about 20 minutes to get a sizable chunk out of this cranium. It's like I said, it's quite hard.
Will that be enough time for our? Will that be enough time for our tracker to go out and reacquire the direction that these guys went?
You can go and take a look.
I'm suddenly become a running dog. What?
I wouldn't say that. We're putting your skills to use. You made an oath to join the order of the Trolljaeger, not to hide in shadows. So we're making sure that, not that you're employed, but that
You are the
Skills being
valuable
utilized.
member of the Trolljaeger.
Yeah.
Let us roll perception. And yay, I can see something in the rain.
So
If it's raining or something.
You find where the tracks entered the skull. So what you need to do now, you need to roll a tracker roll to see if you can acquire where they continued. I mean, you know where they started, so you get a +5 on the tracking. So you should be able to find it.
And that is 120.
So you do take your tracker skill value and add 5 to it. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, you definitely find it. You find it quite easily, even in this pounding rain. That, by the way, you guys have been enjoying being out of the rain for about 20 minutes now, standing inside of this hollowed out skull. And Waldhelm is kind of making his way out of the skull to reacquire these tracks before they are flushed away. And you do manage to find them, and you kind of lean into the hollow skull and tell the other guys that we should probably get going. The rain is gonna remove the tracks at some point here. So, does anybody want to do anything else in the skull before you go, or do you want to keep going?
Probably might want to leave something that'll keep the trolls out, like something, I don't know, off-putting to them or something.
Doesn't.
They're not coming back.
And this makes me really wish I had that Speak with Dead spell.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
I'll mark it on the map.
Jorin puts a set border around it as he relieves himself.
So as you all get out of the boulder, the skull, and start walking down the path again, Waldhelm notices something on the side of the road. There's like a sound in the bush. So what do you guys do?
So do Waldhelm hear it, or do all of us hear it?
Waldhelm hear it since he's going first. Yeah. Tracking. So Waldhelm, Alpakka, you hear something on the side of the road in the bush.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll for hearing that?
You already heard it.
But then I'm gonna see what this is.
You just stop on the road, or you do anything specific?
I'm gonna jump, see if there is any shadowy places I can stand in, or bushes.
I mean, you're going through the forest, so there's always bushes.
Yeah.
So you want to jump off the path and try to hide in the bush?
Yeah.
So you roll a camouflage roll then.
Camouflage roll. Person hiding is SV10. So it's above 10, right? When you got the SV10.
I don't know what's your shadowing and the camouflage together.
18.
So it's under 18 then, right?
Yeah. 8 for shadowing, and camouflage and hiding is 10. So it's 18, yeah. Roll. I'm invisible.
So yeah, you have shadow of 7, and then you have 1 shadowing, and then you have 1 camouflage and hiding, so you have 10 totally.
Okay, 10 totally.
Where did you get 18 from?
1 is the LV, yeah.
They summarize the SV for you automatically. You don't add all of them together again. So you have 7 in the base skill, and then you have 1 in shadowing, that gives you 8 totally, and then 1 in camouflage, that gives you +2, so that gives you 10 totally there.
Then I'm gonna re-roll again.
Yeah.
Or do I need to re-roll, or?
Did you make it with a 10 as well?
I rolled it in the.
Let's
I
just
get 11.
Let's just leave it at this.
Yeah.
You don't really succeed, but Waldhelm is walking like a few meters ahead of you, the rest of you, and you see him duck into one of the bushes on the left side of the road suddenly. So what do you guys do? What do Brian does?
Valravn,
Let's begin on the left. Let's just begin on the left side and go through everybody. So let's begin with Brian and Jorin. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll if I see him do that, then we'll also duck to the side and get the bow
Take
going.
the bow up. Okay. And Vesteinn.
I will look around confusedly to try and see what made these guys jump off the path.
Okay. And Valravn and Dagger.
Dagger will draw his weapon and his shield, and Val will draw her shield.
Okay. And Lycklig.
I'm going to look at my very tall friend and go, shh, and sneak into the bush.
Also, Dagger rolled a 7 on his. He passed his notice 10 meters, whether they're hidden or not thing.
Okay, so Dagger definitely noticed something in the bush on the right side of the path. Something living there. Does Lycklig want to hide? In that case, he can roll a camouflage skill check as well. So what do you have in camouflage, in the shadow arts?
Absolutely nothing at all. I didn't put anything down there.
Okay. So
I can hide really well in a blacksmith.
Right, and also if you're in snow, I guess. So yeah, you need to roll a 1.
I will roll. I got a 4.
Yeah, pretty close, but you think that you're hidden, but you're probably not. What about Greld?
I'm actually going to try to. Is there a tree that I could probably climb up in?
A dwarf up a tree.
Hey.
There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees.
Because I will probably try to climb up to get a better view about what they are seeing, because I'm quite short and don't have that best of a view.
Right.
So
you can actually reuse this map to just have somewhere to put us.
Okay.
Delete our previous members. There's no camp there or anything.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
You can use it if you want.
And we are where?
Yeah, somewhere there.
So I want to try to climb up in this tree over here, or that tree. I don't know where did we start?
Probably be this tree.
Which one?
The one I put you at.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so do a climbing check then.
Yeah. I will just check how much I got in it. Jump and climbing 8, and I rolled 8.
Okay, perfect. You in short order climbs up in the tree and sit on the branch like a maybe. How far up do you want to climb?
So far, so I actually, I'm not climbing up to hide or anything. I'm climbing up to get a good view about what they are actually looking at. Yeah, high enough to see what happens.
Okay, just a few meters up, I guess.
Yeah. So what do I see?
You don't see anything, but about 10 seconds later, a man covered in pelts and furs steps out on the path in front of you guys. On his shoulder he has a hunting bow, and in his left hand he has 3 rabbits that looks he's holding them in the ears, look freshly killed, and he has the look of a hunter on him. And he kind of looks at where Alpakka jumped into the bush and says, "Did you hurt yourself there, son?"
Well, just wanted to have a better position laying down, you know.
I don't think this is a good place to sleep, my son. This is a pretty damp place at the moment. Are these your companions?
Yes, they are my companions.
What are you travelers doing here in the middle of the forest on a day like this?
Hunting, same as you.
Hunting. Oh, I don't see any. You didn't catch anything yet, huh? And it's almost
No,
dinner time.
but we have a trail to follow.
Ah, really? I see.
Mayhaps you wish to join us, but what we are hunting is not quite edible.
What are you hunting?
Troll.
Oh, trolls.
I would say we all say that in unison.
Yeah.
Trolls.
Trolls. Yes. I usually try to stay away from the trolls myself.
Yes,
Nasty business.
So do we, but they do not stay away from those at Bearfield.
Ah, you're out of Bearfield, you say? I haven't been around that way for many a years at this point.
This is a Stormlander?
Yeah, he looks like a Stormlander. He has like a hood up for the rain. He looks like a Stormlander pretty much, yeah.
Does he look like a
no, he doesn't look like an 8-lander. He has darker hair. But he has, like, as you look a little bit closer on his face, he seemed to have, like, crystal blue eyes. Really blue eyes.
I'm going to step forward and clasp his hand.
He clasps you in a friendly handshake and greets you all and says, "It's so nice to come across some fellow hunters on the road. Why don't you join me for my evening meal? I'm about to cook some rabbit stew." And he holds up his rabbits.
Your name, sir?
Oh, my name. Let's see in my buffering. My name. Sorry. I'm not used to meeting people out here in the forest. My name is Freke Longblade. I'm a hunter here in these parts.
Longblade.
Have I heard of this guy? Just having a father that's a ranger and all that stuff.
Do a Stormlander. What would that be? Stormlander, maybe knowledge Stormlander. Lore and legends, I guess. So culture, knowledge, lore, and legends there in Stormlander.
I'm like a 5.
Good luck. It's not easy to be a newbie in this game, huh? You haven't heard of him specifically, but I mean it's quite common with woodsmen and hunters and pathfinders in these parts of the.
So I passed the lore and legends.
Okay. You don't know him specifically either. He doesn't seem to be a famous person or anything. But just like Brian also knows, and everybody knows living in this area, that there are a lot of huntsmen and woodsmen and living off the land in the forest. They usually have a camp, either temporary or more permanent. And they're kind of loners. You know, they like to keep to themselves. He seems like a friendly guy, though. So inviting you to the evening dinner.
Well, I introduced myself. It's good to make yourself known to us. I'm Jorin Ravenhold, and these are my companions, the Order of the Trolljaeger.
Ravenhold, you say? Are you of the Ravenhold clan?
Yes. Colgrim is my father.
I've been in the Iron Moors. It was a few decades ago now, but I've been down there.
Much has changed. Perhaps you should visit. Become acquainted with people again. But yes, we shall join you.
You know, I worked
for a quick meal, because we must be on our way to find this girl.
I did work a few years in the what do you call it, coal fire fortress of the Iron Moors. So the Iron Moors, north of where the Ravenhold Castle is, where Jorin is from, is an area that is well known for making. There's like this kind of special kind of coal that you can get up from the moors, and you can use that to for fire in the forges and stuff. It's very famous in Aidland. Almost every forge used coal from the Iron Moors. It's nice making your acquaintance. What is a nobleman as yourself doing in the forest with a bunch of? He kind of looks you over, all of you, and says vagrants like this. He says and chuckles to himself a little bit.
Dagger kind of like smirks at that remark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
I just
go ahead.
I'm just still laying in the bush, just chilling.
We've been diverted from heading towards the thing on the bequest of a farmer from Bearfield to find his daughter who was taken by trolls. We're
story indeed.
We're very close behind them.
Yeah, I did notice some trolls in the area, but like I said, I usually stay away from them myself.
You sir can choose to do so. We, however, are the Order of the Trolljaeger, and he shall be hunted, and the girl shall be saved.
I understand. I can probably help you find where they are at if you would be interested. Wouldn't be much trouble for me. I think I know pretty much where their burrow is.
To hasten our rescue, your help would be very welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to involve myself too much, but at least I can do that much. But I suggest you make for the burrows tomorrow morning. It's already quite late, and with this rain, it's not going to be a nice experience. Why don't you join on me for evening meal? I will make you some beautiful rabbit stew.
Let me confer with my friends.
What time of day is it?
It's it was about midday when you arrived at the school. It's getting there. 5, 6, something like that maybe. Oh, and by the way, Alpakka left turned off his webcam, so all of the webcams got scrambled. I need to just move you guys around a little bit. When I say that I want to confer with everybody, I draw everybody close, like a good 10 feet from this guy.
So
Go ahead.
Do I need to roll to climb down from the tree, or
Do you have climbing?
Just to jump.
I got climbing?
It's okay. You can probably make it down.
Yeah. So then I'm climbing down and walk up to hear what they are saying. Actually,
I look at Lycklig and Vesteinn, and I lean into both of them. Keep an eye on this guy.
All right.
And are
you guys up for joining him for food real quick, or do you want to keep pressing on?
It would be nice. We have to stop for the evening anyway.
I got water in my boots, so.
question to you: do you see anything in the dark? Because if I'm the only one that actually can see clearly, then we should probably get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, because we know you don't want to be up front.
Yeah, and I would probably
Dagger
do
can-
better.
Yeah.
Dagger, the mist grant him some sort of vision,
I can see in the dark.
but it is not super reliable, as is the fog.
So as you guys are talking with each other, Freyk Longblade is patiently waiting for your answer about the dinner.
Yeah, I'm asking them.
Dagger's just standing
I'm
there,
quite
kind of
hungry.
watching Freaky. while we all discuss.
Mhm.
I could probably put some rabbit stew in my stomach.
Yeah, I would like some rabbit stew.
Let's just hope he has enough food for all of us.
So let's hope he doesn't have any black heather.
So, as you accept his invitation, he leads you on down the path for a little while longer and then takes off into the forest and motions you guys to follow. And you get upon his camp. It's a semi-permanent camp. He has a nice built lean-to covering his tent. And it seemed to be enough space in there for all of you to sit down in the dry. And he has a fire already going. And as you kind of make yourself comfortable and dry your clothes and stuff, he says like you can put your things to dry here next to the fire. And the fire is also underneath a kind of shelter that he built. And he starts cooking the rabbit stew.
So I posted in the chat. I mean, do we have anything that we can contribute to the stew? Like some carrots or vegetables or something we've been carrying around? Do you chop on carrots as we're walking down the
You
path?
have food rations.
Yeah, and in the food ration, they can kind of be a little bit what you want them to be, I'd say.
Jerky?
Yeah, so it could be jerky.
Little
it could
venison.
be,
Contribute eggs.
could be some eggs, maybe. It could be some
Well, some eggs in there.
basic ingredients and stuff like that, of course. If you want to
No,
have
I'm
something,
gonna pop out some radishes.
yeah, he happily accepts your offerings to the stew, and he seems to know what he's doing. And soon a nice smell of a rabbit stew and musty carrots and a little bit of potato and other roots that he found in the forest are boiling happily. And you realize that it was actually quite a long time ago you ate a proper stew like this. You haven't really had time to hunt or anything this last day or two. So while you're eating this stew, let's take a little break and just get some more coffee or look a little bit about Google Hangout, perhaps.
And then how much time do we have left, Patrick?
So this meeting is unlimited time because it just changed to that.
Yeah. So we don't
During
need to
the
fix that today, but we can kind of think about next time. Perhaps.
Yeah, I got Google Hangout set up and I got everybody's email, so I'll just,
So we can use this for today, but yeah, let's take.
I'm gonna post my email down below. Just everybody send me your email,
Yeah.
so I have it for next week, and I'll host everything.
All right, cool. Do we want to take a 5-minute break, or how much time do you guys need?
Yeah, that's fine. I just need to know how much time we have left, because I mean, but I get where we got to go. That'd be great.
All right.
'Cause I can't push it much past 12 today.
All right, no problem. What's the time right now, Brian?
It's I believe it's
11. Wow.
11:30. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
11:30.
let's just take a 5-minute, and then I guess we probably won't finish the session today. Then we'll probably have one more session after this.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fine.
pretty happy. It's been a lot of role playing now. So.
Yeah. And that's
Did you
the
stop
thing.
the stream, or have you stopped the stream?
I'm pausing it as soon as everybody's ready, so I'm pausing now.
Okay, we're ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
See you in 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, see ya.
Riot Minds presents an award-winning role-playing game. Trudvang Chronicles. There are many tales and sagas about Trudvang. Many songs about the fallen heroes. Based on the Norse and Celtic myths and legends, Minds present a world of endless adventures. Draw your sword, call upon the gods, weave your magic.
Ready to rumble!
All right, welcome back to the last part of this session. Probably we're going to have to play another session to finish off this adventure because we had a lot of awesome role playing, and that's perfect because that gives me more time to prepare the next part of the game, which I do need.
I'm afraid.
All right, so you are enjoying a beautiful musty rabbit stew. Tastes delicious. Finally getting a chance to take a rest for the night.
As I am watching this guy, I will also be trying to watch how he is cooking.
Oh,
He is
yeah,
cooking
better do that.
pretty much like he seems to be a master of the rabbit stew. The way he chops the onions and the way he chops the
I'm not
carrots and everything.
really trying to look to see if he's doing something bad.
The technique, yeah.
I am just trying to learn how to do it.
Okay.
Ratio, when you put the water in, is the water first, last?
Okay, so it seems like Freyke noticing you checking his very intently looking at him, and he asked you, "Are you a cook yourself, Master? Are you a half troll?"
Vesteinn is the name. I have learned a little at my mother's knee.
You can help me if you want.
Of course, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so he kind of shows you how he does it, and it doesn't seem to be something extremely rare that he's doing or anything. He just seems to have done this 1,000 times before. But you feel a little bit inspired, and you kind of realize that maybe, that's another way to cook the rabbit stew, and using these kind of herbs as a spice in this way would work quite well.
Okay.
Nirnie, what do you want to do?
I was actually on the same thing that Vesteinn is doing, but I'm actually going to write it down. So I'm asking, could you tell me the recipe for this thing? I think it would be great if someone wrote down how to make this.
Okay.
He's making a cookbook. The order of the Trolljaeger.
I happen to like food.
The order is what you get at do at a restaurant.
To serve man.
Oh.
That's the troll cookbook.
So he says, well, first you need to heat oil really well in the bottom of the pot here. And it's very good to have this kind of heavy buttoned saucepan as I'm having here. Then you take some of some kind of flour, anything that you have in hand, and cover the rabbit on all sides. You add the celery and the carrots, onions, whatever you have, some of these spices, salt and pepper, and then you add 6 cups of water. And if you have some kind of something stronger, maybe some red wine or something like this would also work to add into the stew at this point. And you put down the floured rabbit bits, and you stew this for about 2 hours. When you're about 45 minutes into the stewing process, you can add the potatoes or something that doesn't need to cook so much. And it kind of goes down the list of how he's preparing this rabbit stew. And it does sound quite, not very complicated, but a little bit more complicated than you would have done it, perhaps.
Yeah, and I would probably never cook it myself because I'm a lazy bugger, but I like to write things down so other people can make it. So
he sees you writing it down, and as you're finished, he says, do you want me to sign it for you? We can call it Freyke's Rabbit Stew.
Yeah, please do.
So he signs it with his name Freyke Longblade in the bottom. Very beautiful handwriting, very snarkly and beautiful in Brock.
Yeah. Yes, I have. By the way, I have been writing down this in Dwarvish because of old habits.
All right, so
I can read and write in in Brok too, but I have been writing it in Dwarvish.
He says, "Do you want me to write my Dwarvish name as well?"
You can write in Dwarvish.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of times that I can.
I haven't always been a woodsman, you know.
Yes, but even meeting someone that can read and write as a woodsman, and well, please do.
Woodsman is just one of a long line of professions that I've had. So he writes his name in Dwarvish as well.
And I'm clearly impressed of this because,
I will be looking over at this and go, look at him and go, Greld, you will make me a copy. I cannot read this.
I can. My big friend, when we are done, you are going to be able to read and write in Dwarvish. Or Futhark, if you want to.
Okay. I was trying to learn Lorona to help with Gretchland at the farm.
Well, your teacher was a bad teacher, an amateur. I happen to be a genius.
I am my own teacher. There is no one else at the farm that can read or write.
That just makes a lot of sense now when you say it. Anyhow, I will teach you how to read and write.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Well, you better.
And I will try and make sure you
if
stay
you're
alive.
going to be a part of the order, we can't have people that can't read and write letters.
I can read and write Vrock and Wildvolk. Slowly.
You know, he has dabbled a little bit in poetry as a person who can read and write Vrock as well. He has. Rock, why are you so solid? You hurt my hand. It's good.
It's a masterpiece.
Freyke seems to enjoy your friendly gabbing and talking with each other. You reckon that probably he hasn't had any company for quite a long time out here, since this is quite a remote area. And as you sit down and eat the rabbit stew, he kind of talks a little bit about what he's doing and how he spent his days and stuff. And he mentioned.
How much body points do I get back from the stew?
Right. So is there something specific you guys want to talk with him about or ask him about or anything like that?
Yes, I will. I will ask him. Explain to me how he has set this camp up.
Oh, you're interested in the camp? It's just very basic. It's just he kind of explains how he constructed the lean-tos and the kind of roofs that he made.
Okay, as he's explaining this, I will like peer under and check out the joints and do stuff like that.
Okay.
Mostly at home, I hunt for the day. I do not stay out all day and night.
Okay.
During this time, Valravn's going to give us some respite from the rain, or at least try to. And she is going to cast a spell.
Okay.
That's a fail. Never mind. So she kind of seems to do like a little chant and prayer or something, looking up at the sky. But the rain still continues to come.
You can probably try it again if you want.
Yeah, I could.
You want to spend some more points.
Okay, that's a success.
Okay.
So, Sunvey sees to my wish, lets the sun's rays shine down on us. For the next hour, the sun shines down on the Storm Celt and the area with a radius determined by the skill value in the Faith skill. So everyone within like 6 meters of me are not affected negatively by being out in nature, and all negative modifiers caused by enduring life in the wilds are reduced to 0.
Okay.
Only works outdoors during daytime, though.
Oh, okay.
So that
And
would,
it's equal to the summer's heat for the current region.
does it actually stop the rain, or?
Well, it parts the cloud so that sunlight comes down on you. It does stop the rain because it reduces all the negative modifiers for being out in rain.
All right.
But it's only for that 6-meter radius around where I cast it.
All right.
Or a farmer somewhere that just trying to work.
No, this is a religion spell, not a Vitner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's
As the rain seems to stop, Freyk looks up from his stew eating and says, "Oh, praise Sunvi. It's about time the rain slows down a little bit."
yes,
And he kind of
praise.
waves his hand in a gesture of faith. Does people notice you doing this, or is this just like silent prayer, or do you need to bloat something?
If he actually speaks out loud, I do notice him. I rolled a 1 on that.
Oh, you want to roll a perception, huh?
Oh, I did.
Okay. Sure. So you noticed that Valravn was praying, but how do you pray in this regard? Do you need to sacrifice something, or it's just a spell, right?
No. So for this spell, it's just that there's no special thing like shouting out or making a gesture. I don't think.
Right. Just kind of praying.
Yeah.
I will look over at him and go, "Who are you drowning now, necromancer?"
And then the skies part and sun rays down upon us.
Good answer.
It's like,
So suddenly
allow
everything is just
Sunday's
much
light
more.
to shine upon us.
Yeah. Right. So suddenly the it's much more comfortable being around here. So does anybody want to do anything else or ask Freya about something?
Yes, I will. I will ask him what type of Freke, what type of game is in this area?
All kinds of game. We have a lot of deer and even some elk up here. They sometimes make their way down from the Trollridge mountains and forests surrounding it. We even have some wilder things coming this way from the Wild Hearth. We're not too far from Wild Heart, actually. Of course, as you might know, being from the area yourself, Wild Heart is not a place where people tend to travel or enter. So having a chance to hunt some of these more exotic animals, like the Drauglings, for example, that I even actually managed to catch one of those here in this forest, but that's very rare.
What?
Drauglings.
What is this?
The Drauglings, Master Dwarf. It's a kind of cat animal, very much like the in the real life, the Scandinavian low. I don't know how you say in English, like the low cat, maybe. It's a smaller kind of cat, wild cat animal.
The only thing I'm getting in the
Bobcat?
well, bobcat.
Not bobcat. It's like a lynx, It's much bigger than a bobcat, I think.
That is actually the name, Lynx.
Okay, so
Of course,
it's a bigger cat, almost as big as a jaguar or a.
How big is this creature?
It's a big cat.
It's a big
You
cat.
would probably go with cougar.
I've never seen a cat. I heard people mention them, but I've never seen one. We don't have cats under the ground.
Okay, Patrick, was there possibly a cat or more at the farm to control rodents in the granary?
Of course. So Greld has seen a cat on the farm, but maybe you didn't know it was called a cat.
Yeah,
The
probably.
You have seen them, Greld. They're the little animals that patrol the granary for rats.
Oh, no, that's a dog.
No, those are cats. Dogs are similar, but dogs have a longer nose.
Are the cats those things that climb up the trees to get the birds?
Yes, that is correct.
I need to write these down sometime. But not now.
What did you say, Flynn?
Master Longblade, I do have a question for you.
Of course, anything.
This is your area. Are there anything here that might be taboo? Anything that the Yggdrasil do not want us to do? Or is there something we could do to show homage or to honor them? I do not wish to anger the local spirits.
Well, Jorin, you're half-elf, right? Is there a full elf in the party?
No.
Not this party.
Well, he chuckles to himself and he said, "This is a quite normal forest, honestly. There's not much happening around here, except those damn trolls that's been gathering here." And then he looks to Jorin and says, "Well, I would stay away from the giant skull if it was an elf, but other than that, I don't think there's anything going on here." And that's just a rumor anyway. That's just a old wives' tale about that skull. You must have passed it on the way here.
Oh, we did.
Valravn just leans down to Greld and says, "See, I told you it was useful. It was good."
Master Ravenhold, I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't go under the skull. Did you?
We explored the area, believing it to be a cave. Afterwards, we discovered its true purpose.
You know, the story goes that the giant
with great wisdom.
The giant that was killed there, his last breath was a curse against all the elves in the area. That's why they say we don't have elves in this forest anymore, because they didn't want to stay around this giant corpse. But that was 1,000 years ago. I'm sure it's no problem.
Vesteinn will look frightened at this.
Have you?
That's it.
Yeah. Siggi?
What?
What did you want to say?
Valravn just kind of like leans back a little bit smug.
So Freke looks at you guys again and said, "Have you heard the story of the giant?"
I have not.
I can tell you the story if you want.
I have heard many stories. Perhaps the one you speak will be a new one.
Well, it's about the giant that you found. Well, the skull of the giant that you found. His name was actually Rudun, once upon a time, more than 1,000 years ago now. It is said that Rudun and his brother Surdun was living in this area and taking care of the forest.
Wait. The giants took care of the forest?
Of course. Giants are usually peaceful spirits.
Had me take care of some of the merchants that were a little not nice.
At least, maybe not these days, but at least at that time, this was way before the Giants' war in Jotunheim. And the giants and trolls and all the forest spirits and animals lived quite in a kind of symbiotic relationship. Of course, the humans were new to this area at that point, and even though the elves have been living there for a while, and as humans do, as we do make an impact on the area we live in and come to. And the giants often wondered why the humans did this. Why did they cut down the trees? And yeah, Brian? Okay. Why did they make way for their fields and this kind of thing? And it was quite difficult for the giants, as they lived very long and lived slow lives, to understand the quickness and hastiness of humans. And they usually asked the humans how this came and why it was like this, and they did that by kidnapping them, pretty much. Asked them questions, and then when they got too old, they sent them home again. And they realized that they didn't really have time to ask all the questions they wanted if they kidnapped grown-ups. So they started kidnapping children from the humans living around there. But funnily enough, it seemed like the humans living in this area didn't really mind, because they were always released during their grown-up years, and they were treated well. And when they were released, they often came back with vast treasures and gold and stones and gemstones and this kind of thing. And they helped the human population in the area to grow richer and richer. So Rudun and the humans had a kind of symbiotic relationship. But as it comes with brothers, Rudun and Surdun didn't always get along well. Rudun, being the younger brother, often wanted his older brother's attention, wanted him to play with him, but Surdun had his favorite king troll that he often played with, called Ron. It came to be that one day Rudun was cooking, and as he was sitting down to stir his pot, he accidentally sat on the king troll, Ron, and Ron died. Probably Ron should have been able to get away from this, since the giants usually move very slowly, but for some reason Ron didn't move out of the path of the giant's ass, and he was crushed. As Rudun noticed that he was sitting on something, he looked and saw the king troll and decided to add him to the stew he was making, since it would be bad to waste the meat. Of course, he was treating his older brother Surdun to the stew later, and as he realized that he was eating his favorite king's troll, he got quite angry and decided to get his revenge on his brother. About 300-400 years later, it was finally time to get revenge, and seeing as Rudun and the humans got along very well.
Hey, wait. 300 years? How old does these giants get?
Probably get about 1,000, 2,000 years old, or something like that. They live very slow lives.
Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Anyway, so it turned into Surdun decided to force or trick his brother into eating one of the humans. So one of the humans living with Rudun, teaching him about their culture. One of these that I mentioned before that got released, usually in their grown-up years, and released with vast treasures. He killed one of those and put them in the pot without Rudun noticing. And Rudun ate the stew and told his brother that it was very delicious. He never ate anything so delicious before. And after eating a second and even a third serving of this human flesh stew, his brother Surdun finally revealed to him that this was actually made of human flesh. And ever since that day, Rudun had caught a taste for human and he started eating human as his main source of meat. And this is something that the villagers soon realized as their comrades and brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers didn't come back anymore from the cave. And they found out that he was killing and eating these people instead. And they decided to try to kill him, but they were not powerful enough. And they banded together with the elves. And the elves, being of a much wiser and knowledgeable race, managed to find a way to corner the giant and kill it. And as the giant fell down, his last breath laid a curse upon the elves for helping the humans. And superstitious as most elves might be, especially of the Korpikala kind, they decided it would be better to leave this area than to take the risk that this curse was actually true and genuine. So that's why we don't have elves in this area anymore. And a few hundred years later, the humans stopped living here as well. So that's the story of the giant Rudun.
Whoa.
So I have no love for giants, or I have never seen one, or no one that I ever know have seen one. But we do not feel any love for the elves either. But
The elves are messengers of the gods.
Question.
the elves betrayed us.
Would Valravn know if giants are shape changers?
You can do a race and a monster.
Natural 20.
I guess it means that you have no clue.
Sounds good to me.
You don't know much about this, honestly. Since even coming from a place like Jotunheim, most of the things that you heard was mostly stories. You never actually seen a giant or anything. You know that they like to throw rocks around. Okay. So you guys continue eating the stew and enjoying yourselves, and Freke promised you to lead you to the burrow the next morning, if you're so willing, because he seems to know where
Troll burrow?
the troll burrow is. Yes.
Oh.
Is that where we will pick up next week?
Yes.
Awesome.
Indeed. So let's, because you need to go now, Brian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit shorter today, but that's fine. We can enjoy.
It's been a lot of fun today. It's been a lot of role playing. So.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So let's just quickly go through a little bit of a feedback round and thoughts and stuff, and let's finish it. So Alpakka, any feedback, any thoughts?
It was very much the role playing today and everything. That was cool. I'm getting just worse and worse.
You're getting sick?
Yeah, a bit.
Yes.
A headache. Yeah, I took a Swedish headache medicine, but you know, I've been drinking before.
Not a good combination. Yeah, just take a rest, Alpakka. Maybe it's good for you to finish a little bit early too now.
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow if I'm up for it.
Yeah, I understand. What about you, Brian? What do you think?
That was good. I'm glad that we all got involved today. My apologies if it seems like I think Jorin's become the party leader. So
yeah, that's fair.
I'm actually.
He's the noble.
If it's okay with you guys, next time I would actually want to roleplay about actually creating the order of the Trolljaeger and discussing what can you call it, the administrative parts where we choose what roles everyone is playing.
I think
because I think
We can probably do that after we.
Yeah, I think after we present ourselves to the thing, I think.
But I think the Greld takes this order thing very serious. So I think that he's going to. Yeah, we have to know these things.
I would actually almost say, from my character's view, we would probably want to do something, make some decision before the thing, so that we would present ourselves as the Order of the Trolljaeger to the thing.
Exactly. That's kind of what I want to do next time when we start.
Yeah, we can do that on the way to the thing after the adventure.
Yeah, you're kind of in a hurry now to catch up to the trolls and everything, and Brian.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. No, waiting until that point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do we? Plus there's so much stuff. We got the guys that tried to kill us. We have so Lycklig's got a head or two. We have the stuff with the dwarves. We have rescuing this girl, and we have the pack. Not the stuff, the pact that we made with the dwarves. All these things to present to the thing on top of. And that's everything that's evolved us into the Order of the Trolljaeger.
Yeah, this isn't just like an introductory adventure. It's a bunch of plot hooks.
Yeah.
That's beside everybody's backstory plot hooks.
Yeah.
I love this order thing. It's awesome. So.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
What about you, Elendil? What do you think about the session?
So far, it's good. We are tying up each time we play. We're learning a little bit more about the system, which is good. We are exploring and expanding our characters, so that's good. So I'm having fun. As long as I'm having fun, I'm happy.
Exactly. That's right. What about you, Siggi?
Yeah, I like it. So far, like, the adventure is shaping up pretty different from what I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like the Goblin Cave in Lost Mines of Fendor, but it's turning out to be very different from that.
I think that's mostly because I'm trying to make it different. I mean, I could have played this adventure very straightforward and not adding plot hooks or anything to you guys, but I thought it would be more fun if everything had some meaning to it and actually would lead to something in the future. I don't really know exactly everything myself yet, honestly, but that's kind of the fun for me as well, kind of create hooks for myself to spin off from. And I will let you guys decide where you want to go. You don't need to go to the thing later if you don't want to, you can do whatever you want. I will find some way to figure it out, so feel free to explore and stuff. All right, what about Flynn?
Like I said in some of the other recaps that we've had, what I know and what Lycklig knows, of course, are always very, very similar or different. I also was on the scent of this was actually Rudun's brother, Sudun, but Lycklig has no knowledge. If anything, he might know a little bit about Dwarven history, but nothing in the giant category. Only because the dwarves don't bother themselves so much with the giants. They're underneath and the giants are up on top. So yeah, there's, this guy lives here. Hey, what's going on with the local spirits? Are there Yggdras that they like things, they don't like things? Should we do some stuff? Other than that, he said, there's nothing here. Don't worry about it. What's going on in my head? 100 different things.
Mm-hmm.
Not Lycklig's, not that same direction. He's got other things on his mind. So I'm enjoying this, and I'm discovering a lot about what's going on in the world. Who would know what had happened between two giant brothers? Who's going to know that story except possibly the other brother? But if it's, we do now, which is a great addition and side chapter or footnote for the bard to write down.
Yeah.
But I'm not a bard, so whatever.
I asked.
So that's it. I'm
story.
It's like, how does he know this?
So
right.
Lycklig might also have noticed that he didn't seem to have any adverse reaction to seeing your albino-ness, and actually, none of you seem to be strange to him. Seems very comfortable in all of your company, even though you're not humans, most of you. Thank you for the follow, Banshee. Shasha. Okay, what about Nirnie?
I'm going to say, as Greg said before, that the more we play, the more we know about the system and the world. And the more role-playing we are doing, I love it. We get more and more from every session, and that's super fun. I hope that people that isn't as involved in the speaking and such doesn't feel left out.
It's
if
very
that's
difficult.
so, just tell us.
Yeah,
So-
it's very difficult since we're 6 players in this game. It's crazy thinking about, like, when we started playing the game, I didn't think too much about it, but now realizing that we all should have a chance to talk and enjoy ourselves, it's quite crazy. Like Brian already told me in the beginning of our game, are you sure, Patrick, that you want to have 6 people in the game?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, don't worry about it. I'll learn better. I mean, it works very well for us anyway. But yeah, if somebody feels a little bit left out or that they don't get heard or anything, you need to tell me, and I will try to fix that.
And I hope that everyone is comfortable enough to actually tell us others in the group if that's the case, because I don't have any problem at all with recapping with that person in that case and involve them more.
I am playing my character as kind of quiet and letting the others take the lead, so it works well with this size group.
Jorin, I'm going to tell you now, Jorin is uncomfortable. But I said this before, he doesn't like dropping his family name. Being the only son that was born to all the Kroger, the Ravenhold, like his father and his brothers, he's the only son that was born. And he doesn't like throwing that out there because he's just a regular guy. He's been working on the farm and doing what he needs to do, trying to appease the Elven side and the Stormlander side. So, but it all came to a head, and he had to step out front. So, it's very awkward for him. So, I mean, if it seems awkward for me to you guys, it's just as well. It's a good translation of life into fiction, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, like Val is, she's kind of a closed book kind of thing. She's not sure, she's still not comfortable with the people she's with. She's not, like, sure that she's going to stick with them kind of thing.
Oh, fuck you. You have to
she thinks they might all die, because inevitably everyone dies.
Yeah.
You said an oath. So
Yeah,
you're stuck
that's
with this now.
that. Everyone's gonna die.
Well, fuck you then.
Well, awesome, guys. I'm happy we got to play again, finally. I'm sorry about last week again, not being able to play and everything. But yeah, let's continue next Sunday with probably the final episode of this adventure arc. And then we will see what happens next. And you will maybe level up, since we don't have levels in this game, but you will get some adventure points to spend and maybe make your characters a little bit more fun. So
I'm
thank
going
you.
to say it right now. The week after that, the 17th, I won't be able to be here because I'm in Norway and fighting other Vikings. So
you'll be writing the epic that day.
yeah, he will probably sit down and super much writing down everything he knows about what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you could always go over to Alpakka's house and telecommute from there.
Yeah, you can join the screen.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I doesn't get another blow to my head. So
Right.
All right, guys, I gotta step out.
Yeah.
So
see you, man.
thank you so much, and everybody watching and everything. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following. We got 2 new followers in the stream, which is awesome. And yes, follow, and also on YouTube. I will put this up on YouTube later. Feel free to subscribe there as well. And if you want to give us a tip, you can give us a tip below. You can follow, going on our Discord and talk with us anytime. We have the world, which I'm following. I'm filling out the information and stuff about these different areas. If you want to know more about the Jotunheim or about Castle Ravenhold and the Iron Moors, you can go in there and read about it also below. So hope to talk with you soon and see you next week. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
See you all.
Yep. Have a good one.